perfect. Such perfection.
Do you also want to eat in the microphone? Do you want to pound on the desk too?
So with that, welcome to the Mach7 podcast. This week I am Andrew because, most weeks I'm not. Joining me is Travis.
Iced tea, actually.
Chris is back.
I'm nothing special.
Nice.
Like we're nothing special. This is a shitty intro.
Yeah, you're awful. Stuart's back.
Hi, I'm Stuart.
I got nothing.
Abby is also here. Wait, 30 seconds of silence. Apparently that's required.
Well, apparently I'm a girl only part-time.
Shouldn't do it.
Nope, I didn't.
Nobody ever listens to me.
It's true.
Yeah, totally true. So, okay. So you know how on this podcast I like to chronicle all the things that are wrong with my house?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Basically my personal diary.
Is that, and I also contribute with my vehicles. I
Yeah.
feel like those are...
Well, I got something new that happened
Oh, yes.
to my house. So last Saturday,
Yes.
we were all hanging around. We were watching a movie.
Together.
What movie?
Yeah, together. Fast
Kinda
7.
cute.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
God.
adorable.
You guys have movie night?
And it was,
Was there a lot of
occasionally.
cuddling?
No, there was no cuddling allowed.
It's bromancing.
It's a
Yeah.
shitty
Dude, they
movie
don't call it
night.
cuddling. That's
Stupid movie. I don't know. Stupid in like the best way possible.
it's car porn.
It's so like the one-liners in that movie are just awful, but it's hilarious because of it. One rule about fighting on the streets: the street always wins. It's like what? Like all right, and then the dude like falls through the streets. It's like all right, sure, whatever you say, Vin Diesel, whatever you want. And then The Rock like flexed off his cast. It was incredible. Yeah, like his arm.
I suddenly have a need to see these movies.
His arm was broken, and then he's just like, nah, and then he just like rips it off. It was incredible. So anyway, we're watching this movie, and we go like full beans on the volume, obviously.
Wait, what?
Full beans?
Full beans.
That's not even a real phrase.
It is a phrase.
It means a lot. It means full beans.
It's full a lot.
Yeah.
Why can't you just say
Full-
we turn up the volume quite loud?
Because I'm trying to bring some flavor.
Just adding some
Beans
vernacular.
don't
to
provide
conversation.
flavor.
Bean
They
flavor.
provide
Yeah,
fiber.
Well,
if they're
when you
not
go
flavor.
when you
And
go
music.
full beans,
And music.
Full
Really?
throttle, full volume,
This is why we
full
don't consider her
force.
a
These
girl.
are all things that full beans is a synonym to.
Yeah, but nobody actually ever says full beans.
Well,
I just
clearly
did-
2 people say full beans.
I just said full beans.
I have heard that from like 6 different of my friends.
Your friends are weird.
I have like 7 friends.
Okay,
All
so
but one use it.
so the movie ends, and I go downstairs.
You find them cuddling.
No,
Oh.
You find a can full of beans.
no, because my room is downstairs. So I need to,
Travis,
like,
why are you so interested in
I wasn't- I didn't ask
cuddling
him for the
life? Are
first
you just
time.
looking for material for your fanfic diary?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you are because this seems to go to the direction.
Waifu! Remember? Wafers.
Wafers.
Wafer?
The cookies.
Wafers.
So we go downstairs, and as I was going down the stairs, I heard some like water running. I'm like, oh, somebody must have left the faucet on or something. Reasonable.
You better go catch it.
Oh,
Alright, I'm done.
I hate you. So we turn the corner from the stairs and look in the kitchen, and the kitchen is totally flooded.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There's water dripping from the light fixture in the ceiling, just dripping down
Jesus.
and flooding the kitchen.
The light fixture is flooding the kitchen.
Yeah, no, like there's so much water in our light fixtures.
What's above the kitchen?
Well, it turns out that a bathroom is above the kitchen, and the toilet did not stop running the last time somebody used it.
God.
So, I mean, it was all just, like clean water or whatever, but it was all in the kitchen. And
Water comes from the toilet.
now, now it's the ceiling there is kind of gross and bad. We did get it cleaned up though, and it stopped leaking.
Any
So,
water damage in there now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's probably quite a bit.
Ugh.
Luckily, I mean, we're only there for a couple more weeks, so it's not our problem.
I feel like any renter at this moment.
Yeah, right.
Just next people who go in there, just the ceiling in the kitchen just collapses on
Even
top
before you
of
left
them.
bongs, but you're leaving people with water damage. You're just upping the game each
To be
time.
fair, the people before us also left water damage when the dishwasher flooded the kitchen. So, I mean,
That's slightly more exotic, to be
Yeah.
honest.
never did get the dishwasher fixed either. We just don't use it.
Ugh.
Washing machine still isn't fixed.
Wait, where do you
How
do
are
your
your
clothes
showers?
then?
There's a laundry.
Showers work fine, actually. Weirdly enough. I don't know why that is. But, yeah, I go to, like, laundromats and stuff.
Right.
Because if there's more than one solution to that problem, laundromats and stuff. Let's see, what else? There's a window that was broken that was still not been fixed that the landlord said he was going to fix last summer.
Oh yeah, that broken one right in the front.
Yeah. He's just been waiting for a good day to do it.
Well, I mean, last week.
You had all summer to do it, but you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. That house is a piece of crap, and I'm so glad I'll be leaving soon.
At least I have a story for your. You're not gonna reproduce.
I don't think so. My nephews and nieces, maybe.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
I think
even then, that's not a sure
I
thing.
think Andrew would reproduce by budding.
Yeah.
I'm thinking small Andrew growing out of the elbow, and then
No.
after a certain time,
God.
pluck it off.
Side of the
Like,
head. Side of the head.
That would be intolerable.
The elbow or the head?
Both. I wouldn't want another little me running around. Be like baby Gus.
I don't think
Like,
society does either.
I know. Just be terrible.
Could sell them into child labor or something.
Good grief.
I think
Like,
there's
well-
a number of laws against
I mean,
that.
I could, but I don't know if that'd be the best decision.
Well, I mean, if this is a world wherein a person can reproduce via budding,
I still think
who's to
there
say that the same child laws would be in place?
I think very similar child laws would be in place.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
What if it's just like a fully grown version of me that
He can just
Buds
like
out.
move to Canada, right? They don't have laws there.
But like, as in
they're
what?
too polite to have laws?
Like just mitosis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. What if
Well-
that happens?
Well, then at that point, okay, there's still laws against selling someone into slavery. That is called
Wow.
slavery and human trafficking.
I mean, let's
But-
not get too
Question.
specific.
Important question: Is this second Andrew educated? Does he share all the knowledge that you had at that time,
No.
or is this just
I don't
baby
think
Andrew?
so.
I'm
in a
thinking
adult
it
Andrew
splits
body?
me completely. So like, if this happens like right on my 22nd birthday, then both halves are like 11 years old.
Yeah, okay, then child labor laws definitely come into effect.
That's what I'm
Congratulations, you're experiencing puberty as many times as you damn well please.
What about second puberty?
thinking. Dude, oh, second and third and fourth, that'll be great.
You'll just never mind.
All right, good try.
What's the rest of your story?
Oh, that was the end of the story.
Oh, that's cool.
Then we cleaned it up with some towels
Yeah.
that we then like hung out on the porch, or on the deck rather, and then it snowed. So that's good. Those dried out real well.
Good God.
Freaking third winter, man. It's deadly. I think we told the landlord about it, but I'm not sure. I'm actually not
Would
positive.
it change anything if
No,
you did?
it wouldn't. That's why I don't think we did. Anyway, that's the end of the story. Just thought I'd kick it off with that.
Cool
So,
beans.
Want to
Thanks.
start my list?
Go for it. What's your list? Shut up, dude. We're making top 5 lists.
Well, now that we have 5 people, I'm going to lower the number. So, top 2 plot twists to a video game. Go.
Top 2 plot twists.
The first one that pops to my head, I mean, some people wouldn't think it's really a plot twist and randomly saw it, but
This is huge
Father Comstock
spoiler.
is Booker DeWitt.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, maybe.
Oh, did
I mean,
no,
we're talking.
I know,
game's so
I know,
old. That
but
game's
you know,
so old.
We are.
everyone else might not.
We did
Okay,
just say
we
plot
preface
twists.
It with
I mean,
plot twist. So
You just gotta.
I
It's
just
just.
totally agree with you.
It's sort
I
of just
totally agree.
courtesy just to say spoiler alert. I'm just gonna say it right now again. This is a spoiler alert for anyone listening
what game?
for all games.
for anything we're about to
okay.
say because these are
All
lit
right,
plot
my
twists.
2 real quick will be Booker DeWitt, and then it'll be Halo. Halo 1.
With the flood?
No.
With
They
Guilty
thought it
Spark?
was- No,
Okay,
they
Halo's a
thought,
weapon.
they thought it was a weapon that they were going
Oh,
for.
right. Well, it is a weapon, just the wrong type.
No,
The Great
it's more
Journey.
of a last resort protocol.
But it's still a weapon. It's still annihilate. In the Forerunner trilogy, Faber, the master builder, totally used it
You mean
as a
Faber?
weapon. Yeah, Faber.
Faber.
Thank you. Totally used it as a weapon against the Sancherium.
Well, they were testing it, not exactly.
No, that was definitely I'm gonna kill you guys for being
But then
rebellious.
they released the timeless one, which was great.
Well, it depends on the way. Depends on how you view it. Great.
Yeah.
Number
I
2,
didn't
I'm
think it was
going to
bad.
go with in Persona 4 how Adachi is the murderer.
That's not a real name.
It is a real name.
False.
In Japan.
Oh, Japan's not even a real
Are we
country.
in Japan right now?
Yeah, come on, it's not a real name. Bro, please. Get on our level.
This is really difficult. This is really, really difficult. I've got to say, Booker DeWitt as Comstock is a very good one. I think a good plot twist is that Destiny didn't actually have a plot.
You mean Borderlands?
Borderlands had some interesting twists and turns emotionally.
Really? Were they
It had a couple.
The fact that Angel was against you the entire time.
Yeah.
That one got
The
me.
Claptrap DLC was pretty,
That
pretty good.
Handsome Jack was behind the scenes for the entire thing so far.
Good thing I can't wait to play Borderlands 2
Yeah.
now.
Well, you did ask for plot twists.
You did ask for plot twists.
I did, and I'm not upset.
Sounded a little
That
upset.
game is also even
pretty interesting
older
reveal.
than Bioshock Infinite.
You know,
so.
Angel is a siren. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I
We
literally
will-
when that happened, recoiled,
siren noise.
just threw my arms in the air and just what?
I would say that it was a shocking plot twist that the studio that made the pre-sequel got shut down, but I saw that coming from a mile away. So,
Shout out to 2K Australia. Rip in peace.
Why'd they get shut down?
because
'Cause 2K hates Australia.
yeah,
It's not true.
they didn't really.
Australia hates video games, actually.
That's also true.
Yeah, that's one reason. Also, they never really did any of their own work that was really great because the pre-sequel was pretty much just an expansion for Borderlands 2, and the DLC, which is what they worked predominantly on, was pretty poor.
I think for my plot twists, one of them I'm going to go Portal 2 with
Yeah, that was going to be one of mine.
with
Yeah.
Wheatley
That was a really good one.
becoming the bad guy in the the moment Wheatley said, "Hey, replace me with Gladys," I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna go power mad." So I knew it was coming, but it shocked me how emotionally it hurt. I'd come to like Wheatley, and
I
he
still
chucked me
did.
down a shaft.
I still did, even though he was a bad guy. I
Yeah.
still loved him.
Yeah.
Which is
But-
the greater plot twist, that Wheatley turns against you and just throws you down a tube, or that GLaDOS used to be a person?
People saw GLaDOS used to be a person back in the first Portal.
I didn't.
I don't know. I think
Really
another good plot
explicit.
twist is shooting the moon.
I don't know if that's really a plot twist.
That's a mechanic twist. I think a game mechanic.
That's just a shocking moment of oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. So the other one, I think I'm probably gonna go for the Wheatley as the bad guy partway through because that was an emotional punch. And the other one is I'm going to choose a Halo one, but I'm actually gonna choose the Didact as the plot twist from Halo 4, because it wasn't that big of a plot twist, but pretty much every other plot twist was spoiled for me before I played the game because my brother played it before me.
How is it a plot twist?
Well, I didn't know the Didact was gonna show up.
You're on Requiem.
At that point, I hadn't finished the Forerunner saga.
It's like you walk into somebody's house and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're here! Wow, surprise!"
Plot twist.
But by that point, I hadn't finished the Forerunner saga, so it may not have been that massive a plot twist for people who had. But partway through, when I saw him coming out of the little cryptum thing, I'm like, wait, is that the Didact? Is that the Didact? And I
Now is that? I don't think that's a cryptum. It's not a cryptum.
The
It's,
Scriptum was on some island on Earth, wasn't it?
Well,
yes.
yes, it was, but it was kind of still the same thing in which he was put into a sleep for thousands of years or millennia.
Here's the thing about Halo 4, or any of the Halo games I've noticed, mostly Halo 4, I couldn't keep up with the plot simply because I was too distracted fighting wherein half of the plot took place. During fights and during
I will
just
give you that.
during crawl.
They took a huge leap with a plot where it used to be you could just play the game back to back to back and
Yeah.
you'd understand the plot. This one you have to
You gotta listen.
You had to not only listen, but you had to actually go and check out the lore and the
And,
books
Yeah,
and
that
find the
too.
terminals.
And so when it revealed when you wake up the Didact in Halo 4, and then suddenly everything turns against you, wait, was I not supposed to do that? This whole time I've been running to this objective. Does that turn out to be a bad idea? Why was I going to this button in the first place? What was the plan here? Cortana! Make sure I'm listening next time!
Technically, you were listening to Cortana. She's like, yeah, let's go to shut
I
this
was
down.
not.
Okay.
I was just following the HUD. She's just dangling a carrot in front of me.
That's a good point.
Another great video game plot twist: my princess being in another castle.
Nice.
Samus being a girl.
Oh!
That was the
War
OG
twist.
the OG
Yeah.
plot twist of video
that
games.
was, classic plot twist.
Yeah. Andrew.
I'm just gonna go for something a little bit different, even if they aren't necessarily the best. I'm gonna go with Bartrand betraying Hawk and Varric in Dragon Age 2, and stealing the Red Lyrium idol, and then selling it to Meredith, and that causes her to go crazy. Even though she was already a little bit crazy. And then...
I wasted one.
And then...
Remember my favorite.
My second one will be in Assassin's Creed 3, Hatham being a Templar. That blew my mind. I was like, I guess that makes sense. I
Mass
didn't
Effect
realize
had
that.
a couple good ones too.
Another good one. Actually, hold on. Wait. I had a reaction before you did.
Okay.
KOTOR 1, that you're revving.
Oh, yeah.
That was
a good one.
what? I'm the bad guy the whole time. What?
Wasn't there...
There was Malik.
No, I'm thinking
Oh.
in Dishonored, wasn't there something like that? Didn't it
That
turn
you're
out
the
that
bad guy the whole
Corvo
time?
was the killer or something? Or am I
I mean,
just
that was a
misremembering that?
cover up. I remember that much. I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah, maybe it's just the cover-up.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
they made it look like he was the killer.
Yeah.
And then when you go say the little girl and everything,
Right.
and she's the queen, and
Yeah.
she basically says,
I need to play that game again.
I haven't. It's still unopened because I bought it on Black Friday for free.
Which, by the way, we should do a
Should read.
a retraction from the last podcast.
Yes.
We
We had a discussion.
we realized last podcast we talked about when the last new IP that we played within a certain amount of time that from its
Intellectual
release.
property.
Yeah, that we had played. We had both said, you said like BioShock, I said Kingdoms of Amalur. We realized that it was actually for Dishonored for both of us. Completely forgot about that game.
Yeah. It's a really good game.
It is.
It's a fantastic game.
Just
but,
I
like,
always forget about it. I don't
you
know
don't
why.
hear about it much after
Yeah.
it. Like it's such a good game, and it has a lot of replayability. It really does.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those games that's kind of like, well, how come they never did a sequel?
Chris, you added an addition.
Yeah, Mass Effect, because like the Citadel being the mass relay that the
That was
Reapers
crazy.
Yeah.
And
Also,
then-
it's not really a plot twist, but on Vermeer when you had to kill somebody, yeah.
Well, that and
That sucked.
Sovereign being, I'm indoctrinating you like the whole time. Like I thought just Saren was a bad guy, but instead he was just a pawn.
That
Yeah.
whole trilogy was just a roller coaster.
That's,
It really
that's
is.
the greatest
Twists and
plot
turns
twist that in Mass Effect 3. That the greatest plot twist is that at the end the plot sucked.
Yeah. How do you end such a good story like that, though? Really?
I
But I
pretty
mean,
much
you got to
figured
shoot
no
Udina, so
I pretty
I don't
much
see what the
figured that
problem is.
no matter what you did, that
that
nobody
guy.
would have been happy with it, just because the rest of it was so great. But
One thing that I can add to this is it's less a twist and more a slow crank, because it's all about turning the cogs in your head to get a grasp on this. If anyone here has played Dark Souls, you know that there is little to
Drunk Souls?
no Drunk Souls. There's little to no explicit storytelling. The only thing that goes for storytelling is the intro cinematic, item descriptions, and very occasionally the NPC dialogue that's actually helpful and beyond. Oh, hey, it's you again. Do you want to buy something from me? Give me your souls. I'll sell you this. And that's about all that they give you for explicit dialogue. But there is an exposition dump about halfway through the game. The first objective of the game that you're given is go ring the 2 bells of awakening, and that takes like
forever.
It can take like 30 hours to a new player because you got to get good first. And after that happens, some guy shows up and he gives you an exposition dump. And it turns out, if you play this game a couple times through and make different decisions, go to different places first or later, that it turns out that whole exposition dump is a bold-faced lie. It's 100% false, and you are being manipulated from the get-go.
And here I thought the plot of Dark Souls was just you die.
That's also the plot. No, these aren't mutually exclusive here.
Travis, have you finished Dragon Age Inquisition yet?
No.
Because I just got a good one for that too. But if you haven't played it, I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Well, I have another list if you guys are prepared for one more.
Absolutely,
Okay,
we
sure,
are.
list.
Uh-oh.
Top
dude, we're
2,
making top 5
neither
lists.
good guys nor bad guys.
So tweeners.
So just neutral character.
So supporting characters?
So, for example, Elusive Man and G-Man.
All right.
No, the Elusive Man is a bad guy.
The Elusive Man is definitely a bad guy.
The Elusive
He's
Man is a
not
bad
a
guy.
He's
He is
definitely
a
a bad guy.
Not in Mass Effect 2, he's not.
Okay, that's...
Yeah.
Okay, so Mass Effect 2, Elusive Man.
Yeah, Mass Effect
In 3, he is very explicitly a terrorist leader.
Yeah.
No, he was
mean, he's
still
still a terrorist
leader in 2. I'd argue that he's
But-
still a bad guy in 2. It just happens to be a worse guy that you're fighting against.
But he
Lesser of
can
two
be
evils.
very helpful. Like,
Yeah, but it's always for himself.
Right. Well, that's why he's a tweener.
You can be a tweener without always being for yourself.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can be with it too.
I'm gonna say Mace
Most
Windu.
no. I'm gonna argue.
Mace
I'm gonna argue. Basically, all these tweeners are gonna be. They have an ulterior motive for themselves. Because G-Man and Elusive Man both have ulterior
That is true.
motives
Yeah.
than helping you. Because if they were trying to help you, they'd be considered a good guy. Or if they were against you, they'd be considered a bad guy.
No, somebody can try and help you and not be a good guy. The Elusive Man is definitely trying to help you in your goals in Mass Effect. It's
When
just because they line
Because
up
they're
with
advancing
his
his goals.
Correct.
That's my.
You can be a
Next
bad.
list,
You can
next
be
list.
a bad guy and help
Go.
the good guy.
Warrior 2.
No, I need time to think because yours were so dumb.
I think we need to
Throw
lay down.
me
Some,
off.
I think we need to lay down some ground rules because I'm thinking of a few good characters that I like, but I don't know if they fit in this list or not. Like
Go
for
ahead, just
example,
say 'em.
does Chell fit into this list?
Who
Is
the
Chell
fuck
a
is
good guy?
Chell?
She is
character
the
from
main
Portal.
character
Protagonist
for
from
Portal.
I'd say yes because they're not really good nor bad. They're just kind of there.
They're
Just kind of
tenacious.
trying to live.
Yeah.
It just sort of exists.
I
Wait,
mean,
who?
they have so little
The main character of
characterization.
Portal.
Oh, I didn't know she had a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have so little characterization. It's kind of hard to put them in a camp of good or bad.
Yeah, all we know that she's a dangerous mutant lunatic, and that's coming from a very unreliable source.
Is that from Ratman?
No, that's from GLaDOS.
that.
GLaDOS.
Ratman
What a
calls her
bitch.
Ratman calls her tenacious.
T Nasty. Gotcha.
Like,
Gladys calls her
shut
fat.
up. Like, does he call her tenacious? Like, that's her name to him?
No,
Is that what he
as
calls her,
as
or
in
is
that
it,
that
he
is a
refers to
character-
as a tenacious person?
as a tenacious person. That's why he selects her to wake up to try to defeat Gladys, is because she just doesn't give up.
What happens to like everybody else though?
They
They're just
die.
dead?
I
They're
think-
just
Yeah,
dead?
they
Okay.
die.
Yeah, thought so. Well,
I think actually like my two characters are actually come from Halo, and
Shocking.
I know.
Wow.
I was not
I know.
expecting that.
Wow.
Came out of left field.
I know.
nerd.
Abby, you can't blindside us like this. I wasn't prepared.
One of them is 343 Guilty Spark.
Yes.
I vote he's a in betweener.
He's a tweener.
Yeah,
Shockus
He's
is
just
definitely.
following orders.
he's protocol. Protocol dictates my actions.
By that logic, we include Nazis.
But they're
I
not
don't think
programmed.
that's exactly a tweener.
that
Pretty
they're
sure
not,
they're
they're not
aligned.
programmed.
Just following orders.
Well, yeah, but they're not. No.
Who's your second one?
Halsey actually. Catherine Halsey.
How's
Because
she a tweener?
by the end, okay, beginning, yes, she is absolutely like, solidly on like UNSC. But by the end of Spartan Ops and into the Halo Escalation comics, I would definitely put her as neither good nor bad. She's just trying to survive after the UNSC decided, hey, let's kill her. So she joined the Covenant not because she agrees with her ideals, but just because,
Wait,
they're
what
not
now?
I don't consider.
I
that,
missed
but whatever.
something along the line.
Watch the Spartan Ops cutscenes. They're available on YouTube. But
I could spend like
listen to
4
Kill
hours
Five
just
trailer.
watching cutscenes from Halo games and get most of the story. But
Yeah.
then,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
No.
agree.
like, okay, Kilo 5 though doesn't go into necessarily like it goes into like
It
how
goes into a lot of detail
It-
of her post-Spartan.
yeah, it goes into a lot of detail, but it doesn't go into her detail of actively turning against the UNSC. Because even though Paragonsky and Osman have, set her up to take the entire fall for the Spartan program, despite, Paragonsky being like, oh yeah, let's kidnap a bunch of kids and send them on suicide missions for the Spartan 3 program. That's totally moral, and I will not blame anyone but I'm angry at Paragonsky.
wait, was her name
Apparently.
Paragonsky?
Paragonsky.
As in Paragon Ski? Oh.
Sky, yeah.
Okay, now
The skiing.
I thought her name was
paragon.
Paragovsky
I
with a V.
no, it's
With a. Are you?
I think it's Parangovsky.
I think.
really?
It,
Do you want me to do a fact check?
I listened
Please
to
do.
2 books
Fact
of this.
check.
Please
I
do.
listened
Hey,
to 2
listen
books
to them
of
too?
this,
I just
and
read
every
them.
time it was Parangovsky.
Yeah. me
okay.
too.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that was that. I just read it. I didn't.
I just
hear
hope
it
it's.
pronounced.
Even if I'm wrong, I just don't like Paragonsky.
Anyways, but like.
Margaret Parangovsky.
So after Kilo 5 trilogy, after Spartan Ops, the end of Spartan Ops into Halo Escalation, I would count Halsey as a neutral character. Because she's really just pursuing, at that point, knowledge with the Janisky.
We're talking about Margaret Orlando
Yeah, there's an N. I keep on switching the N
Parangowski?
and the...
Perengoski?
that is.
Pengoski.
Yeah.
Okay.
I switched around a couple letters in my head.
Perengoski.
Perengoski.
Okay, who are your top
Okay.
two? We're forgetting her top two because they're junk.
Thank you.
Actually, I like
the
343. I did like Shakas, but
Dude, I don't know. Like,
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Doesn't he turn into a good guy though?
Nah.
I'm gonna go with
An anti-hero.
The anti-heroes are still good guys.
There is still the qualifier hero.
I'm gonna go with Tails from the Starbomb song, where he gets addicted to drugs. He goes on a murder spree.
I'm sorry. What?
Don't question
It's
it.
such a good song,
Don't question it.
dude. I don't know. Like,
That's a really limiting category because
Well,
the
yeah.
vast majority of
You
people in
don't
video games are
really- you
either
don't really
in
do
the
a
hero's
broad one.
party.
You need a limited one.
The vast majority of characters in games are either the hero, in the hero's party, the main antagonist, or in his posse, any one of the countless enemies you fight, or a worthless NPC.
like
That talk
like
about
the
games
dancing
today.
Twi'lek from Star Wars.
Precisely.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with first one. I'm gonna go Conrad Werner from Mass Effect.
how is he a tweener?
He's
No,
neither
that
good
fits as a
nor
tweener.
bad.
That fits as a tweener.
I don't think it does.
What
I
did
think it
Undina
does.
fit as a tweener?
No, Udina's an evil asshole.
What does?
How about the council?
The council, I think, would be in between.
Where does
I mean, I
Saren
guess-
fall into this?
Bad guy.
Is he though?
No.
He's doing it for, in his mind, good reason.
But he's being
But isn't that what-
manipulated to believe.
Don't all
things.
bad guys think that?
The
Like,
guy,
doesn't mean he doesn't believe
the
it.
guy tore his arm off and stuck a Geth arm there. That's not healthy.
Okay, then by that.
Was it a Geth arm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a little bit of sense. I thought it was just some interesting tech stuff.
Nope, it's a Geth arm if you look at the models.
Okay.
One of the things
It's just
like
hard to tell because
How do
they
they?
have-
Okay, here's a question, real quick. I'm sorry, just a quick aside. How does the council who employs this guy, how does nobody in regulation or just keeping track of
he's
stuff
a specter.
recognize that is Geth tech? We did not give you this. Where did you get this entire arm and part of your torso? Oh, that matches the architecture of these things that are very clearly bad guys.
And like the eye implants,
Yeah.
and
Yeah!
the wires coming off the back of his head and
that
stuff.
is a major plot hole that I think
You
is
know?
never addressed.
I think
It's because it's the whole specters are above the law and can use
Oh.
whatever methods they want to, kind of thing.
I heard that they were actually planning on Mass Effect, planning on having Saren start out looking like very much a normal Turian, and then as the game progressed, he
That
just
would've been very
digressing,
That would've made
but they
Should've done
ran
that.
out of time. That's what
Ah.
I heard.
I'm gonna make
That's
number
dumb.
2 Rocket Raccoon.
Is he in a
Okay.
video game?
He never saved video game. He just
Yeah, I did say games.
no. You said you said first one.
I'm
for-
sure there's a
Games
he's,
are
he's in
implied.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom.
Please.
for-
Okay,
There you go.
There we go.
He is?
Yeah. He was actually in
Stuart's
the competitive tier because as a side character, his assist move, he calls down a giant log trap that hits somebody. So you
I'm
used a really short character with really fast, good combos for your ground, and you used log trap for anti-air.
I've never played any of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, but at the same time, I'm wondering, how do you justify that comparison? In Marvel, you literally have godlike beings
Don't get him started on God tier stuff. He will go for
versus
hours.
Capcom.
Just please
whose
don't.
Big bad is probably like Mega Man bads, who are not that bad.
No, it's all about that Jill
Well, it
Valentine.
depends on what Capcom game, because
I
like
thought it was all about the
Although
base.
Because you
Capcom
have,
does
like-
does have Monster Hunter. You get all the monsters and the hunters.
And
you also
Barry
have-
Burton.
You also have like Devil May
Oh,
Cry.
Beery.
Oh yeah.
Resident Evil is in there.
And I'm pretty
Really?
sure.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil's on by Capcom?
Yep.
I did not know that.
That's why I'm listing Resident Evil characters.
Right then.
I can't really see. them-
Also, don't forget about Chris Redfield's blood. I hope this is not Chris's blood.
I mean, Chris Redfield punches boulders, man.
I can't see Marvel vs. Capcom, dragging in Galactus. Like choose Galactus for your
No,
fight.
Galactus is the final boss.
I'm sorry, what?
Galactus is the final boss. If you lose, what it is
Wait, but is it a player? But he's not a player
No.
character. Yeah,
No.
that's what I wanted to point out. You can't choose Galactus to go against any Capcom character.
I mean, you do get some interesting things. Like you get Frank West from Dead Rising is actually a high tier character in the fighting. So you have Frank West going up against like Dark Phoenix and beating her to death with a shopping cart.
As Frank West does.
Another interesting plot twist. Hold on real quick. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Damn.
Well, I mean, we're only doing asides from this main conversation.
How about the very first BioShock? Would you kindly?
Yeah,
That was good.
I was gonna list that as
Still have
my
not finished that
second
game.
one.
Well. Would you kindly finish it?
I was gonna list
Now
that
you
as
have
my
to do
second
it.
one, but I felt it was kind of cheap to do 2 BioShocks.
I mean, I have my backpack
true.
over here. I could just go in the corner and play some.
Well, I'm actually kind of glad you
Continue
didn't.
the podcast with these sound effects of like
That's
gun
actually
bullets
one
and
video game
ching, ching,
like spoiler twist that I haven't absorbed by cultural osmosis.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
So-
that's surprising.
I know.
Oh,
I'm actually. Maybe I need to go play Bioshock
You
before
should.
it gets
You
spoiled
should.
for
It's
me.
a really good game.
I mean,
It
it
is
sort of
a
already
really good
has.
Another good plot twist is the fact that the final boss sucks in that.
Yeah. A lot of games have terrible bosses.
Bioshock is really interesting and really cool. Although the combat and such gets pretty monotonous after the first 5 hours. Like, oh hey, I've got all these plasmids.
I mean,
I've tried them all.
electroshock and a
Got all
wrench.
these guns, and I
What
have
more do
no
you
ammo
need?
for half of them.
It's all
Yup.
about the old one, too.
I never
Trying to
had-
take out a turret drone, trying to take out a heavy armored turret with a pistol because I'm out of ammo for everything else. I want to save my rocket launcher ammo for that one boss that will never come.
Combat in Bioshock 2 was much better.
We don't
I
talk
did-
about that game.
But,
That-
the rest of it was
that's
not
the
quite as
thing,
good.
Is the combat? I felt the gameplay in Bioshock 2 was vastly superior to Bioshock 1. It's just the plot. It was not that great.
Yeah.
Big
Sisters, though.
There's only one though.
I know.
No wait, there's not. There was originally only going to be one, and after you beat them, they'd run away. But they made multiple of them because it tested poorly when they were like, "Yeah, I beat this boss like 7 times, and they don't die."
So, I wonder why Resident Evil 6 is the way it is.
Wait, they made 6?
Yep.
Yep. It was not good.
No.
We
I remember
don't talk about
5.
that one. We don't talk about
Yeah,
6.
we
For
don't
some
talk about
reason, I thought they were on Resident Evil 9 or
this.
something.
No, not quite.
That's Final Fantasy.
I mean,
if you want to
It's up
count
to, like,
Revelations 2,
It's because they
that
made
makes 8 now.
Yeah.
they made a bunch of remakes because there was
Remakes and
Code
spin-offs.
Veronica or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
there was Code
It's
Veronica.
kind of a whole franchise. It's almost like Mega Man in that sense, in that you can just go any direction you want with
Yeah.
it.
Doesn't even have to make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Although,
Like Revelations
unlike
1?
Mega
Like what?
Man, they are not blue and cyan.
It's true.
A lot of red in that game.
That yeah, because that's a differentiation between Mega Man and Resident Evil. That's
Yeah.
the only differentiation.
Well, I mean, you run around, you shoot things, you gain their powers. Like, how else?
And
could
this
you-
week on Games with Simple Plots.
I mean, total global saturation is the simplest plot.
So
That wasn't even English.
So describe the last game you played in the most simplest terms you can, like the plot of the last game.
Try to do quests, get stuck picking resources instead.
So
Is this Neverwinter?
So the last game I played was Space Engineers.
All right, simple plot, go.
What do? In space, so much metal. What do?
Was that like a haiku? It wasn't because the
was
syllables were
not.
all wrong.
Nah, close enough,
But
right?
I mean, if you want to go 2-3-2, 2-4-2. I'm sorry.
Grind for a long time to get a cape.
Batman.
Absolutely. Batman.
mine was Guild Wars 2.
Nah, close enough.
Follow the story of the protagonist in a retrospect as he's explaining it to court authorities.
Is this like Memento the game?
Phoenix Wright?
Gears of War Judgment.
All right.
I was gonna say
Eh.
Murdered Soul Suspect.
Well, probably the same.
Yeah.
Probably same plot.
Okay, so I lied. The last game I played was not Space Engineers. So plot of the last game I played was build a theme park.
Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yes!
Yeah!
Not Scream Ride?
My roommate found a bunch of stuff for Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2, and he gave 6 people on my floor all the code for all the stuff for Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and we just hung out in the lobby playing it for the last hour and a half,
Nice.
basically. Oh, nostalgia. Oh my
Oh,
god, the
those two.
nostalgia.
I hated when they changed it from isometric to actual 3D.
We don't talk about that game.
Yeah,
we don't talk
I
about
didn't
3D.
like that game.
I used to play on SimCity, like the old like flat one that my brother had, and I would build cities just to send giant salamanders through them.
All right.
That was a disaster
You
you
don't-
could do. You could click on and have disasters.
So
Giant
was the
salamander.
plot of the last game you played?
You've played
Free the
as a
Didact, save the
genetically
world.
No,
altered human being that wears powered armor, and you go and
I jump
you
through
shoot
portals
aliens.
a lot.
Oh.
Well, no, it's actually it is a Halo game. It's Spartan Strike, the new one that
Oh,
came
Yeah,
yeah.
no
out.
one just came out.
But you jump through portals.
Jump through portals.
Take over the ODST job, jump through portals a lot. That's
Wait, there
really
are
what you
portals
do.
in Halo?
I don't see why I bothered asking.
Besides
I
slip
should've
space,
known
there
it
are
was gonna
portals in
be-
Halo?
Yeah, there's Forerunner.
Oh, right, I forgot that they were a thing. They could do
Yeah.
anything they want.
Yeah.
I'm
they
sorry.
have-
I don't mean to offend any of the Halo fans out there
No,
or this
offend
one
them.
right here.
Offend
Well,
them
what about
hardcore.
yours?
The Forerunners have become such a cop-out. They really have. We need a new conflict. Let's make this thing that does this absurd thing. How does it even do that?
Forerunners.
Forerunners. They're really good at stuff. They're really good at bending, logic.
Well,
How
do you-
does something from
How do you
orbit-
force?
How do I what?
How do you force?
That's like, are you talking Star Wars?
Midichlorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thanks for bringing that up. Shut up. How do
Okay,
you
No,
and
episode 1 is so
prequels.
good though.
Wait, you liked the prequels?
I love the prequels and Jar Jar.
But you
He's
get
all
angry
about those
midichlorians.
Are you just trying to arrest a lot of Jimmys?
Is it working?
If you
It's working on
legitimately have
somebody.
that opinion, then I'm pretty sure that disqualifies you from being a human being. And
Wow.
that's all I'll say about that.
A little extreme.
I don't understand how anyone could write the composer and with any degree of like this is how it works. It just doesn't make any sense.
Abby, you're
Like,
a Halo nerd. Explain it to him.
from orbit decomposes every person with this specific DNA thing from orbit, every single one on a planet, and stores their unique stuffs.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to you.
A wizard did it.
That's scientific.
That came from the moon.
Okay, well, if you consider
Borderlands moon.
how smart AIs are made in the UNSC, it's actually just a very a more advanced and bigger tool that makes smart AIs.
Okay, I can understand the part about storing stuff, but how does it get that info from lasering you from orbit?
A wizard.
They're the people that have explored the photon-only realm called the glow. I think when they can scan brains...
There is a difference between doing slip space bullshit, which anyone can go to slip space at this point.
It's not about slip space.
Especially me.
It's
different
more advanced.
dimension.
It's more advanced slip space
I'm all
because
about
slip
that
space
slip
goes
space.
to some blank dimension and then out the other side. Don't you interrupt
Have you
me.
done that?
Don't you
I
interrupt
did.
me.
It was fun.
You know,
Any
when
faction knows how to
two
do
people
that
are
in the
arguing
day and age
you're
of
in
Halo.
between and it's about something you don't
There's a
understand.
difference between slip space technology and lasering you down to nothing and getting your entire being from it.
But the thing is that the Forerunners also had access to precursor knowledge through the domain, which was then destroyed when the Halo rings fired.
Are the precursors wizards? Because
The precursors are even
See,
everything.
I don't think
The
your
precursors
your
are an even
problem.
bigger cop out though.
Your problem isn't with the Forerunners; it's with the precursors. That's the real
To be
issue.
quite honest, I have a problem with the precursors too.
Yeah.
They were creepy.
Aren't precursors a bunch of Cthulhu monsters?
Well, now
No, the
they
Protheans.
This is why fantasy is better, because you can always just say a wizard.
That's true.
are.
Shout out to magic.
With
magic
there's
is
literally
awesome.
no limit.
Well, okay, the precursors were awesome, but then you had
No, the fucking Forerunners are the problem to this universe.
the Forerunners didn't turn themselves into flood.
They had to do that because they were going to go extinct. Because
only-
the Forerunners
I thought
were
we were
having a
supposed
little
to explain
tantrum
this
that we're not going to get our
culture.
way.
Okay, there is two conflicting ideas. Like, okay,
No, there's one idea.
we have two records regarding the precursor Forerunner War. One of them is the Forerunners threw a tantrum that they weren't going to get the mantle.
That is
Humanity
exactly
was.
what had happened.
The other one is that they went and the precursors tried to kill the Forerunners to be like, oh,
They don't have weapons. Why would they do that?
One of the arguments that the one of the
She's
arguments
trying to make an argument that doesn't
so
exist.
One of the
I know it's that one, but it doesn't make sense.
When the grave mind is talking to the didact, the didact and Silentinium, he ends up
This is what it
saying
must have felt like
In the
to be
what?
somebody who
In
wasn't me
Silentinium.
when I was talking
the
about
third
Yeah.
book in the Forerunner
Girl.
trilogy.
This is like me on every podcast when I'm just with these two. Like, I just don't. I don't understand
Halo.
anything they're saying.
No, keep going. It's fun.
But when
It's fun to watch.
when the grave mind is pretty much destroying the didact's mind in Silentium, he specifically says that one of the reasons that one of the motivations for the flood is that they wanted the ability to create and destroy without ramification. To create and destroy that
Yeah,
which
but that's
they
not why
created.
the flood was created.
No, it's not. The flood was kind of created by accident, but
Yeah, it was after being in ages of just sitting as dust
yeah, and then
out in the outer rims
And then,
of
yeah, they-
space.
I thought that was a very deliberate thing.
No.
But
Well,
yes
they
and
went
no.
into powder.
Yes and no. But also there is the theory going about that the
Can I
domain
say
was
that's also a cop out.
Did they regenerate like Cell?
Just for a second here, let me just say that the precursors made this dust fluid, whatever the hell it was, this weird matrix stuff, that was administered to animals that manifested in such a way that if humans ate it, they became flood.
No.
No,
No.
it is what
No,
it is.
that's not how it was created.
No.
Okay, so here's just a quick question.
That is my understanding of what the
Here's
fuck
just a
happened.
quick question. You're saying this is dust. The real question is, what would happen if you snorted the dust?
You would grow little stalks on your head, and your buddies would try eating it.
That is actually accurate.
No, that's what happens.
Yeah, that is actually accurate.
No, that's what happens.
And then your
That's what
buddies
happened to the
become
Pharaoh.
flood?
What's that?
And then your buddies become flood?
Yeah, because then you get contaminated with the.
How is that different from what I just said?
Because it was unintentional.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The precursor-
in this premise, I totally intentionally snorted.
How do you unintentionally make something that creates a global plague that is sentient?
It's not global.
How do you
it's
do
galactic.
that? How do you do that by accident? What was in that stuff? What was the intended purpose here, Travis?
To be able to survive from being extinct. Now, my own.
How is that a solution? We're at war. Let's make plague dust.
Yeah. It's just like Goku using instant transmission to blow up cells. It
Jesus!
doesn't actually do anything, but you might save the world.
My only complaint
Kills
was.
King Kai at the same time.
Fuck it. Done
All
with.
caps. We're at war. Let's make plague dust.
Better question is, how come when they used the Dragon Balls to bring back everyone who Cell killed, that it didn't bring back King Kai? It doesn't make any sense. He
No,
hadn't,
they're just one of the-
he hadn't died before, so why didn't he come back to
No, he
life?
came back. He just retired.
No, but he's dead, though.
Instantly. Was he dead?
Yeah.
Well,
During the Underworld tournament, they're like, oh, King Kai, you're dead.
It's kind of like in Dungeons and Dragons. When somebody tries to revive you, your spirit knows who and their alignment and where and stuff, and you can choose not to be revived. So
I believe
Kai
that.
was just like, eh.
I'm okay
But
with
plague
being dead.
dust.
But why would he do that, though? That doesn't make
Plague
sense.
dust, though. What the fuck, Travis?
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you wrote it, obviously.
Obviously. No.
Greg Bear, can I have your autograph?
The only problem I have with it is that the precursors made structures that lasted fucking forever. They were indestructible.
You know, except for Halo Fire.
What?
The Halo Fire.
Well, yeah, I
Melted
mean-
cities.
For neural physics, right? But they could last for forever. But when they go create their own dust, they can't last for forever. That's the only problem I have.
Well, it could be that, like, for instance, the at a certain point when they were transferring the Gias from like Firth and
You say it
Show.
funny.
I know Gias. What? How do you say it? I don't know.
Gias.
Gias. Thank you.
Gias.
Gias. Whatever. When they're
Funny word.
transferring the
Oh, Gias,
essence,
clearly.
when they were transferring the essence from like say Firth and Show into
Lord of
Chakas.
Admirals.
Yeah, the Lord of Admirals into Chakas. That was and Chakas into
Which was such a cop out. Let's be real.
yeah.
It was just a way to mirror what was going on with the Forerunners. Shut up, Stuart.
And
Hasn't this entire thing been about how like 90% of this is cop out?
Yeah.
and how Chakas was then created into 343 Guilty Spark.
What?
Professor Chalk was?
Yeah, Shakas is a human.
He's 343?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! My life is a lie!
You obviously have not read Primordium.
To be quite
No,
honest,
I got bored with that one.
Primordium was a slog to get through. I'm gonna admit.
I
that.
listened to it on the way up from.
Cryptum was
Well,
okay.
Cryptum was amazing.
Hey,
It's my
hey,
favorite.
hey.
Silent TM, I
Cryptum
think, was the best.
pretty
No,
good.
no.
Cryptum was interesting, but it was
It was so good. I
Not.
love the story of Born Stellar.
more about the events that were happening. I did not give a damn for anyone involved.
I love the Forerunners.
I
The story of it.
I'm okay with Forerunners. Not okay with these guys. They're just boring.
Silent
They're
TM
like-
was my
They're
favorite.
like, ugh, this is happening now, isn't it? I knew this would happen. I never prepared, but I did prepare. And now it's happening.
When was this part of the story?
Let's do this thing. That's just the Forerunner attitude. They're like, ugh,
Yeah, simple
this
plot.
thing is happening that I've been preparing centuries for. Except I couldn't have prepared for this. Except that, this eventuality happened, so clearly I was prepared for this. You're here, Master Chief. Congratulations, you're going to save us all.
Well, it's not. Master Chief doesn't show up in the cryptum.
Just Halo in general.
Now that I think about it, King Kai did come back to life. at the end, at the last episode of the Cell Saga, he was alive, but then in the Underworld Tournament Saga, he's back dead.
Probably drowned in a toilet. or
He
something.
probably did. He probably
How
drove off his
oddly
planet.
specific. Thank you, Chris.
Well, if it's anything like Andrew's toilet,
It's true. I mean, it could happen.
I don't understand what that was supposed to even say. Never mind. Moving on.
Because my toilet flooded my house.
Hey, Stuart, since you're so smart, can you tell us what a name for a female pig is?
All right, I mean,
Yeah, we covered this last week.
I know, I'm just asking you.
isn't it a sow?
It's either a sow or a
No, it's
goat.
actually quote unquote a slut. If you ask Stuart.
Okay, you know what? That was a faux pas on my part. I recognized that
Be a
last
fuck up.
week. I recognize it now.
Well, it depends
That's how
on
it's pronounced.
I
if
appreciate
we're
you bringing up my
doing-
follies.
If it depends on if we're doing pig the animal or pig in like a sexually perverted human being.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you just gave him a cop
That's
out.
not-
Oh, all of a sudden he's with a full.
last week though, that is not what you were saying.
That is what I was trying to communicate.
That was the comparison you were making for why a female pig, like the actual animal, would be
no,
called
that,
a slut.
that's what that. I was trying to.
I'm sorry.
I
Stuart,
was
can
trying
you
to
repeat that?
communicate that the term that we use "slut" for to describe a promiscuous woman comes from the characterization of the term "pig" that is used for men.
But at the same time,
As the female version, which leads me to believe, which would make me think that a slut is a female pig in biology class.
Quick.
Did you write
thing
that
you
down
have
on a
that on
test in
your-
the ninth grade?
Should have said
female
yes.
pig?
That's a much more interesting story.
Well, I mean, the class did dissect pigs.
You mean sluts? You dissected sluts.
No, they were male pigs.
They were fetal pigs. Go away.
They're baby
Go away.
sluts.
Shut up. Abby took her glasses off so she could facepalm just that hard.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
I
yeah,
think
it
she
turns
just
out
tried to
female
claw
pig,
her eyes
not a
out.
slut.
Does that wrap up our discussion on simple plots, or? I mean, are we done? I'm just gonna play both Starbomb songs like throughout this episode
Just in the
Why?
background,
because they're funny.
explicit tag.
We already have the explicit tag. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's.
You may have noticed Travis has said fuck a couple times.
Every episode.
I think I beat him to the punch on that one this time around.
I like to sprinkle around my naughty words.
I immediately.
Oh,
said
does that just
shitty,
dash your
so-
buttons?
That looks like that sounds like it would be good on a t-shirt. I like to sprinkle around with swear words, just little curse words, just flakes on a cake.
Yeah.
When you say it, it sounds really masculine too. I like to
I
sprinkle
like
my
to
naughty
sprinkle
words.
around my swear
Yeah.
words.
I
All
don't
right, Fabio,
swear
calm
much,
down.
but when I do, I like to sprinkle them. I still like Chris's idea of having on the T-shirt. We're at war. Make galactic plague.
No, plague dust.
Specifically
Make
has to be
plague
plague
dust.
Plague
Make
dust.
plague dust. Okay, that was never explained though. How do you make
are we
plague
going
dust?
back? Okay.
Same way you make
Why
any dust.
do you make plague dust?
Oh.
And how? Okay.
Pestilent
Follow-up
mortar.
question. How?
Are you gonna
does,
answer or you gonna keep talking?
Let me just pose
I tried
this
to
last
answer
question.
like
I will
6
let you
times.
explain to your heart's content.
Okay, cool.
How do you make something that when you leave it in the fridge for too long, it becomes plague dust that threatens the known universe?
Have you never seen things get moldy in the fridge?
Touche.
Furthermore,
I feel like I've been waiting
feel
to
like
say
anthrax
that, and you keep like interrupting me.
Okay, but in terms of one of your questions was why is the precursors able to create such elaborate structures that aren't destroyed except with Halo firing.
Neurophysics.
With neural physics. In terms of that, it could be that.
Did you say neural physics?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is neural physics?
Neural physics, if that's the way.
sorry.
Nerves.
Yeah.
Neural processes.
Neurons.
Neural.
Neurotic.
Neural.
Brains.
Neuro.
Physics.
Are you saying the precursors made structures out of
Brains,
tissue?
yes. No.
No. But like.
They understood a different level of physics.
What?
We've shut down wizards.
How does neuroscience destroy a building?
What about warlocks?
Okay, we'll get to this in a second. Plague dust, go!
Okay, so in terms of them being able to build like these fantastic things, but in terms of preserving themselves, they're kind of crap at it. Okay, so the Forerunners, to kind of go off on to make a comparison, the Forerunners were really good about making the Gias,
Yes, she said. That's gross.
into like, putting that bits like, into humans, and they were really bad about, trying to compose themselves and, bring them back into physical form. They had part of the process down, that they understood it, but they weren't able to, technologically create that. It could be that the precursors, not expecting to be turned on by, the Forerunners, their own creation, could have just not researched how do we make ourselves not die.
They created the Forerunners?
And humanity.
Yes, and humans.
What?
Yes.
God damn it!
And there's another race. I forgot
That's
what the other
another
race is.
cop-out!
There's another one.
I don't remember.
I forgot which one it was, but it was like the
So how are the levels looking?
It was like the
They're fine.
best between like
I'm all the way over
Halo.
here,
They're
it's
like Halo
okay.
and Forerunners together.
You mean humanity and Foreigner?
What did I say?
I
I said
have
humans.
You said Halo.
Words
Well, yeah, the Halos and
about
the
that
Forerunners,
whole
right.
precursors created humanity and the Forerunners in a second, but go ahead.
They're just the creators.
Yeah, they
That's just what it
No,
was.
just go, keep going with your conversation. I
so-
will explain my gripes later.
So in terms of them not being able to preserve themselves,
Well, they were able to preserve themselves.
well,
They just broke
but-
down over millennia upon millennia upon millennia.
Yeah, it's just that they didn't have the technology to necessarily create.
Their DNA broke down.
Yeah, their DNA.
It just started to decompose, and that's what they became corrupted and turned into flood. So,
So
they wanted to come
plague
back.
dust. So you're saying that the plague dust used to be sequenced precursor DNA juice.
Okay, it'd be like if I dehydrated you, basically.
Mummies.
If I were just
Mummy
to
dust.
make you into a jar,
Were
like
they
your
actual
ashes.
precursors, or were they some special?
Actual
No,
precursors.
actual precursors. Like your ashes. Like your ashes.
Except not burnt.
But not burnt. But then, like, later you plan on being able
Mummification.
to
A
add
cleric
liquid
did
back
it?
to you, and all of a sudden you come back.
What about a
Essentially,
spell sword?
Mummification.
Spell sword or a hex blade?
What the fuck?
What other magical classes are there?
That's a cop out.
A war mage.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
very
think it's
sorry,
pretty
you
well
guys.
done.
But
I
that
think
is
it's awesome.
I think
that's
it's
one of the
the same thing.
craziest
Mystic
scientific cop outs I
Druid?
have heard yet from the Halo universe. That decomposing precursor,
Bards get arcane magic.
when administered to somebody, makes infected spores.
It
makes
was
the
a
blood.
Contaminated.
Definitely seems like something a blood mage would do.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
It just.
And the thing is that it wasn't necessarily like they administered it to a dog or Feru, as they were called, and suddenly,
Feru.
boom, flood happened. It was actually an ongoing process. It was like,
That doesn't make it any
it was
better.
essentially a breeding. It was breeding that, these had traits that they liked,
I
and
administered a hammer to a dam once, and boom, the flood happened.
You know what happens when
No.
DNA decomposes? It becomes useless material.
wasn't
You know.
really decomposed yet.
Usually.
Well, yeah.
That is how the
But then
science
again,
do.
these are different types of beings.
Cop out.
Right. You have no problem with the Asari being an all-female race and just me just connecting my brain to yours makes me pregnant. Yeah, you have no problem with that, but all of a sudden...
No one said I don't have a problem with that.
Well, you never brought it up.
I just don't get it.
The Namecs are all male race.
Yeah. To be quite honest, I really
Krogans
liked
have,
the
like,
twist
8
that the
lungs.
precursor were flood. Because
Redundancy.
at first I get really tired of the ancient
Zombies.
ancient alien race leaves behind stuff, but this was really cool that it wasn't just another ancient alien race. It was something that we'd fought and we are terrified of, and they essentially want to reclaim the galaxy for themselves, or do they want to like challenge the humanity for the mantle? I really can't tell.
Precursors?
Yeah,
Or
Flood.
Forerunners?
Flood.
I'm terrified.
What?
Like
The
dust.
Flood don't have a mind anymore. It's just grave mind.
Well, yeah, but
Has mind in the name though.
They don't have a mind. They just have a mind.
No,
but the thing is-
no.
again, when talking with the Erdidact, he ended up saying, "We will return to judge the humans to see if they're worthy of the mantle." So either I'm
This is a
really
first-person shooter. I thought first-person shooters were supposed to be simple.
Let's talk about something besides Halo.
So the last game I played was Pole Position, and I'm a
Sounds like a
car.
stripper.
That's the
Stripper game.
No,
That's the whole plot.
It's the arcade
Yeah.
game, right?
Pole position? That's
Yeah.
definitely a stripper game.
No, because it's the pull on the
Yeah.
gear shift.
whole plot is that you're a car.
Yep.
Done.
the zoom. I played a game like
Did-
that once.
did
It was
not
called
need-
Fall of Cybertron.
Did not need 40 minutes.
Zoom, zoom.
Real quick, may I go back to one gripe that I had?
Is it
earlier,
about
or do you
Halo?
Really want me to move on?
I'm the
it's
chef
not
from
about
Burger
it's not
Time.
about Halo, but it is featured
Making
in
the
Halo.
burgers.
Okay.
Continue.
Is this some sort of weird crossover?
No,
Can it be, please?
I don't like when writers undermine the achievements of humanity by aliens.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
i.e.,
we're useless,
Humanity
right?
was
So-
created by somebody else, or we replicated all of our technology from something else that landed on Earth, i.e., Transformers, or The World's End.
But The World's End was such a good movie.
It was an amazing movie. But I just don't like it when they just say, humanity is amazing because of somebody else. Good job, guys. You get a pat on the back, A for effort, way to steal our tech.
But that's always kind of been the point, right?
And I mean,
What's-
smashy,
That-
smashy Eggmen.
At least, like, in Mass Effect, that the races all perceive humanity as being sort of juvenile and, like, trying to take what they're
But
not,
in Mass
not
Effect,
supposed to
Mass
have.
Effect is not a good correlation because it's only the Mass Effect technology that is left behind,
And the Citadel.
which is part of the Mass Effect technology because we
It's just a
talked
station in
about
space,
that.
mostly.
Yeah, but I wanted to include because I just didn't want to talk about just the mass relays.
But the Citadel is a mass relay. We had that conversation.
Okay. But it's also a station that harbors life. Not the relays don't.
You're talking about the Keepers?
And the people who live on the Citadel.
Well,
No, forget them.
But like, the fact that humanity did take the technology from someone else is actually made interesting in Mass Effect.
Yeah, and it's
Because the other races are interacting with them in a way that's like, oh,
it's a
they
galactic
shouldn't like them.
community.
Yeah.
There's this one series I think you would like. It's called like the Uplift series by David Brin.
Uh-oh.
It's called the first one is Sundiver. Second one
way
is
too preppy titles, don't like it.
Startide Rising, and the third one I can't remember what the third one was called. I didn't.
Three preppy
But
titles.
the idea is that
Don't like
like every alien race in general has been kind of uplifted, as in like their evolution has been like worked up to a certain point by another alien race, except for humanity. And so humanity is kind of looked down upon by everyone else because humanity is kind of a feral race, and somehow they made it. On
You guys
stars.
made it on your own, a bunch of nerds.
Pretty much.
I honestly don't like the whole humanity is super special subplot either. But
I like a nice
I mean,
balance
equality,
between
right?
the two. I like a nice balance between the two.
I didn't catch that joke. That's why I didn't laugh at it.
Equality, right?
Oh, yeah.
What a joke.
Eh.
Another thing you don't see very often in games or really in movies or anything is, one, aliens wearing clothes. Two, but that's what what I actually wanted to mention was humans are generally like the inferior race. If there's ever aliens, they're generally like
Oh, yeah.
big hulks or just filled with claws or teeth, and they can just kill a human with no effort at all, and it takes a military unit just to kill one of them or something like that. You never see humans as, I'm so sorry I killed your whole family by stepping here. Oops.
that's because that's a boring story.
Yeah.
They do have a throwaway joke that happens in what was it, Men in Black 2. Kay pokes
yeah.
a planet and it's a giant like finger comes down and does a tsunami on some small town.
I mean, the issue with that is we already kind of hold dominion over Earth.
Yeah.
So-
It's kind of what would happen if we became the.
Colonizers
Oh, no, I
of
can
different
definitely see all
planets.
It
the
would
appeal
be
to it.
awful for everybody.
I mean, District 9 kind of touches on it, but again, the aliens are physically more powerful than us.
They also have superior technology.
Yeah.
I guess the Solarians fit into that whole thing. They're pretty frail and short-lived people, and they're the shortest-lived people in all of Mass Effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Lifespan,
40 years,
40
was it?
years.
30.
Of the Citadel races.
Vorcha
yes.
have lower lifespan because their lifespan is like 17 or something.
I think they mature at 17, but they live to be like 30.
Vorcha, I
Maybe.
think.
Even then,
Vorcha,
it'd still be
Vorcha,
less
I
than
think,
Solarian.
cap out
They're
at like
youngins.
25.
Oof. But
Maybe they were
Vorcha, they are
reproduced,
creepy.
like,
But-
mice.
Creepy looking.
But of the council races, yes, the Solarians.
But yeah, Solarians, they used to eat flies.
Yeah.
The Solarians are pretty frail and short-lived, and I can appreciate that there's somebody on the block who can't just kill a human in one punch.
But they're also hyper intelligent, is the thing.
Are they though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how they, win wars all over the place.
Yeah.
You
Just by
know,
being smarter than
or
everyone
like,
else.
making the genophage.
They're the real nerds of the
Or,
galaxy.
like-
I can understand them being really intelligent, but I always assumed that was on a basis of they go through life so quickly they gotta do as much as they can in that time, and so they have they just have a really great education system.
That's
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
That's
also
why this was-
the
it
fact
makes
that
sense.
I mean, if you
they're-
gotta finish school in 10 years, good
also,
luck.
also the kind of fact that they're sort of small and weak, so they kind of need to be smart.
Yeah,
I mean,
otherwise,
just kinda
bye-bye.
turns the
Humans
whole
kind
idea
of do
like
that too. That's how we
reptiles
have
being
dominion
dumb
over elephants.
on top of his head.
Well, they're not reptiles; they're sort of amphibians. They used to eat flies.
And they're meant to be like
Technically, some reptiles do eat flies. Continue.
they're meant to be like the analog to the more classical like sci-fi aliens that you would see.
with the big
Like-
black eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
the
big
gray
heads.
ones,
Yeah.
Yep.
bald
so to
heads.
speak, from Area 51.
Yeah. That's what they're sort of modeled
Travis,
around.
why are you so exasperated?
I'm not.
I
No?
mean, the other races aren't necessarily really superior to humans, though.
That is true.
Because, I mean,
Other than the Krogan.
other than the Krogan.
Krogan and the Hanar.
Pretty sure the Asari.
Physically, the Krogan beat
Well,
everyone out.
The-
Mentally, though,
the Asari are technically superior because they all have latent biotic abilities, so there's that.
that's only because they have Ezo in their drinking water.
Yeah, that's fair. The Turians are
Spike all
pretty-
the drinking water.
The Turians are pretty much just tall and scaly,
Well, and they have a fucking huge army.
but that's not like
Makes it kind of superior, yeah.
But like
But not-
biologically.
but, like-
biological.
Biologically, if you stick a human next to a Turian isn't going to automatically win a fight.
And I mean,
I would
what
give
is
them the upper hand.
Oh,
they have
yeah.
metallic skin.
That
And they're taller.
They're
have,
taller
like-
and bigger.
That normally wins.
They're at least like
Yeah.
6 inches taller than the average.
Plus,
human.
they have
Yeah,
like
but they
goop-like
don't-
skin, so
but they don't necessarily have the weight added onto it.
This is true.
And if you fight fairly, it's actually easier to take down a heavier opponent or a taller opponent or whatever.
lower center of gravity.
Was there ever any info on on Palavin's gravity as compared to Earth?
There might have been.
I don't
but
know.
I don't know.
Probably
And that stat might be
somewhere.
in the codex somewhere,
It's
but I don't
definitely,
think
if you
anyone
look
can
at the
Yeah.
plan, list it for
think
you.
of it off the top of their head.
I mean, the only
Fact
ones,
checking.
the only ones
Got
that are
it.
blatantly superior are Krogan, and they kind of have a reason.
They do have. There is. Oh boy.
If you live on a planet that requires you to have redundant organs and nervous systems to survive as a species, then you have a right. to
So
that.
Tuchanka pretty much just has like the entire planet is just competition, right? It's all evolution squared over there, right?
Are you familiar with Magic: The Gathering?
Here we go.
You are,
From the
aren't
cutscene
you?
So
right there.
they're Jund.
Yes,
They're Jund. I gotcha.
Tuchanka is Jund.
Yes.
Palavin has a gravity of 1.14. So I imagine that's.
It's a little more.
It's a
So
little bit
Earth, I
more.
imagine, is 1. and
Is
then-
that
So
like
it
a
might balance
ratio?
out the whole muscle
it says
mass
1.14
thing for a Turian,
Okay, then yeah, that's slightly
for a homegrown Turian.
that's slightly heavier
Yeah.
than not heavier, but slightly stronger than Earth's.
for a
not a whole lot,
200
though.
a 200-pound man becomes a 220 something pound man.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
It's not so bad.
Which supposedly happens in Assassin's Creed 1. They don't have the same gravity as they do here. Because like if you time your fall off a lot of like the tall monuments and everything.
Into a bale of hay.
Yep, and the gravity is actually
no.
actually
That's no.
I don't know. I just don't think it would.
I
be-
would chalk it up
Assassin's
to-
Creed takes place within real history.
right. But
So the gravity's the same as on regular Earth.
No.
Yes.
If you time
Gravity has
The
actually
drop.
changed over
Travis.
history,
Are
guys.
you, are you trying to argue that because of the game mechanics, the world is actually different?
I'm saying that they did it incorrectly in
But-
the game.
That's
Well,
not how you opened with it, but
because
I
it's-
understand your point. Thank
Because
you,
it's a
Travis.
video game.
There are
So you're saying that's legitimate, but it's a video game, so we take away the necessity.
What the hell are you even talking about?
To be accurate, yes, that is what I'm saying.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Anyway,
All
I
right.
think
Dude,
it'd be
just
pretty easy.
It's
to
like-
Master
choke out a
Chief drowns in
Turian,
3
so-
feet of water.
In
It's
Like-
a very
like there's-
symbiotic ecosystem, right?
Watch the game theory on
is
it.
it?
It's really good.
it's like in Assassin's Creed 3.
Well, I mean,
one of the
Quarians
missions.
do
Hey,
the
hey,
fact-
stop it. In Assassin's Creed 3, on one of the missions when you're on the boat, your first mate calls out that there are mines ahead. Well, back in that time period, mines weren't called mines, they were called torpedoes.
Yes.
But they call them mines in the game because it's a game and you need to understand what it is. It's not historically accurate, but
So
it's a
you
game,
think-
so who cares?
So the gravity isn't something that should be like. They could have just made you fall slower. I don't know
But
what
what
happened.
difference does it make?
Because it just
Then you're just spending more time falling. The point is to get to the ground.
Also,
No,
I'm pretty sure
what
that
is it gonna
Benjamin
happen?
Franklin didn't have an assassin drinking buddy. So,
Hey,
I mean,
alcohol.
do you know your history? Benjamin Franklin had some
He was a
great
playboy.
social circles.
Jesus Christ.
He might have been there, yeah.
Just watch the game theory on it. It's just interesting.
But it doesn't matter though.
There was a game theory on this?
Yeah, it's just,
There's a game theory
video
on
game.
my point is, it's just an interesting idea. I
Like
don't
a
know why you
game
guys get so
theorist video
butthurt
on
about
this?
it.
Because it's
Yeah.
not
There's
relevant.
a game theorist
Like,
video on the
butthurt.
physics
You
of
sound
I'm just
Blake's
bothered because you guys
hook
are
shot.
like picking at everything I'm bringing up.
You're pretty butthurt.
I just don't know why Assassin's Creed would have different gravity from actual Earth. It doesn't
How
make any
frivolous
sense.
is this argument?
It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm telling you. It doesn't make
I
any
am
sense.
just saying that the time it takes means you're a heavier person than when you really are. That's all.
But who cares?
A person's mass has nothing to do with the rate at which they fall, Travis.
Is
It's a
that-
video game. Like,
That is true. A person's mass does not the amount of surface area perhaps that they have does.
I think
Do we
Trav-
kill them?
Hang on a
Travis
second.
has
Hang on a second.
expired.
Hang on a second. Did you say it takes less time for him to hit the ground than it would, or does it take more time for him to hit the ground than it should?
Just watch the fucking video, you
No,
bitches.
you watch it.
Just hang
Explain
on a
it
second,
to us.
because
No.
when they jump off of those vantage points into a bale of hay, they do a big long flip and they put themselves flat, parallel to the ground for much of it, so as to land in the bale of hay and to not die on impact.
Which they would anyway.
So that
Yeah,
might create enough
but-
wind
right,
resistance
but it's a
to
video
slow
game,
them
so,
down
I mean-
just a little bit. If nothing else, their acceleration. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't reach terminal velocity by jumping off of the town chapel.
Probably not.
Eh. I would chalk it up to air resistance, but this is why are we still talking about
I
this?
don't know. Why can't we talk about Quarians?
Let's talk about
again?
Quarians.
Quarians died to everything, so there's that.
Well, before the suits, though.
Before the suits, I mean,
They probably still did, because
No.
their whole planet was like, let's get along. Okay.
Yeah, there was that.
They're a very cohesive and symbiotic ecosystem, and then they made the Geth, and the Geth pretty much burned the world. I think.
Something like
The world's a
that.
dead planet now, isn't it? They have to terraform it now.
I believe they are terraforming it.
Yeah. Also,
Which is why they still need to adapt and wear the suits
Yeah.
on the planet for a little bit.
Also, apparently, if you save both, the Geth, with the Geth's assistance, they build an entire city in a week.
yeah, they're Geth.
Yeah.
They're basically space wizards.
Imagine if you had an army of like 5,000 construction workers and each of them shared a mind. And they never got tired.
Never needed to eat.
And they never needed to, yeah.
Or
no.
poop.
It's
Why
an
do you
entire
think-
city, though.
Why does Abby always go to poop?
Abby always brings up poop.
Why do you
Poops
think
and
It's an entire
farts with her. Jeez.
city, though.
Why
I
do
would
you-
believe a town in 3 days, but a city in a week is just too much.
Why do you think they made the Geth in the first place? To do that shit.
This is true, but a city in a week.
Have you seen the motherfucking Colossi?
Those are weapons.
You can turn it into like a bulldozer.
Into like a plow, maybe.
Fuck off. Plows.
Just a city, though. like Washington D.C. or
There's
Seattle
a
in
lot
a
of,
week.
There's a lot of geth.
That's like building several skyscrapers in a day.
There's a lot of geth. There's a lot of geth, and they have super hyper advanced
You have
technology
to
of
have
awesome.
the materials necessary
Exactly.
on hand and ready to go the instant they are ready to place it.
We have the technology
We
to
can build it.
change planets and how they operate. We can build a goddamn city.
It's too fast. It's too
Also,
fast.
I'm just curious-
A month I would be fine with.
I'm curious.
But a week!
It's a small city, okay?
wait. Compared to Earth, how long are Rannoch's weeks, though?
There you go.
You're
Okay.
the
They
one.
could be longer than.
Hey, time is not convoluted in Mass Effect.
So
time is standard, and it seems to coincide
And it-
perfectly with Earth time.
Holy shit. I wonder if it was planned that way.
Ooh. I wonder why everyone speaks English!
Well, because of
Universal translators.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd believe that.
It's fine with that.
I mean, we
but-
got people running around
City
in
in a week,
robo
that's
suits all the place, and with magical laser blades. They can afford tiny Bluetooth headsets.
But the lip syncing, though. All this
So-
time, I'm sure that that translator came across my mind, but everything just flows so well and is done so well, it almost never crossed my mind, and that's just like, and
Batarians.
translators
What about
never
I
never
think they're
bothered me.
superior to humans too.
Which ones?
Batarians.
Nah.
I'm not familiar
Those
enough
dudes with the
with,
4 eyes?
Yeah.
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 Nah.
I'm not familiar enough with Batarian physiology.
I would
so-
say
I would
that
say they're
I would say
closer
the
to being
Batarians are. I would say the Batarians in a lot of ways are on par with humans. They're just butthurt a lot of the time.
Yeah, they're just
and that is a
mad.
big disadvantage, is to be butthurt.
Well, I mean, they do kind of take over a bunch of human settlements all the time.
Do they?
Yeah.
Shit.
The
I'm
day
sure we could do the same to them.
the day
we
length on
wanted to.
Rannoch is
I'm
32.
Shut up!
I'm sure that if humans were
Shut your mouth! Go ahead.
The day length on Rannoch is 32.3 Earth hours.
There you go.
So that'd still only be like a week and a half.
Still,
that's like a 50% increase. Not even.
Like I said, like a week and a half.
That's still stretching it.
I'll put that information out there.
But still, there is no distinction between a human
you
week and a
see,
Rannoch week.
They were at war,
In that
so they
statement.
made some city dust.
Some city plague dust.
Some construction dust.
Yep.
Stuck it in an animal, set it loose. Oh, hey, there's a new house over there.
And then the animal built additional pylons. I mean, it all works out.
Also, the Keplerian ratio of Rannoch is 0.911. So
I don't
What
know
even
what
is
that
that? I
means.
have no idea.
Kepler I've heard it referred
Something about
to
orbit
as, yeah.
around a star?
Yep.
Absolutely, I agree.
You know what's really fun is reading a science fiction novel and being like, oh, I know that scientific term. I studied it.
And then being like, that's not how it works.
I can't relate to that. I'm pretty sure you're the only physics major in here.
I recently saw the word Shrenkov radiation. I'm like, oh, I did that for my physics senior project. It made me happy. It was
Is,
just one off.
Does Shrenkov happen to be an ogre by any chance? Or?
That's Shrekov.
Oh, my mistake.
And that happens when particles pass through a swamp
Ah,
as opposed
right.
to a dielectric medium.
Gotcha.
That's through a swamp?
Because ogres live in swamps.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I got it. See, I thought you were being
I thought we were
serious.
talking about actual physics.
Well, no,
Yeah, because swamp is a material.
okay, Shrenkov radiation is
With
actually,
all the crazy words in science, I would not be surprised. I took a tour of the mine. Something there is called a sump.
Yeah, you don't sump. Sump every day.
What sump?
Every
You
day
don't know
I'm
what a sump
sumping.
is?
It's something that pumps all the water out of a sump.
You've never heard of a sump pump before.
I've never heard of a sump!
Sump pump.
That's what it is. It's not a sump
No,
pump.
it's funny.
Have
It's
you
a
guys,
pump for a sump.
have you guys heard of the acronyms for the two
Hump and dump.
the two theories for dark matter
Maybe.
and dark energy? One is massive compact halo objects, and the other one is weakly interacting massive particles. The acronyms for those are macho and WIMPs.
That's funny.
Like Macho Man? Or?
That seems planned.
Oh,
But like one came before the other.
Sometimes some scientists do like to have their fun.
I think WIMPs came first, and then they kind of said, this one's going to be macho.
Like there's a treadmill on this International Space Station called the Colbert. It's a whole acronym for a treadmill.
Shout out to Colbert.
Because he won a contest and they named a treadmill after him.
Figures that Colbert would get.
Oh yeah.
would get,
Oh yeah.
Would get one named after him.
Jesus Christ.
Man, Travis is still salty.
That's fine.
I don't even remember what it was about. I'm sorry. What was it about?
Don't bring it
I
back
don't
up.
Assassin's
remember.
Creed.
I didn't know I was upset.
Brought it up.
You look very disheveled. Well, not
Bedraggled.
not
Disheveled.
Hang on.
You
Okay.
do look like you are just settling in some salt.
No, I am quite comfortable right now. I'm at good salt level.
So I was doing the podcast, right?
Okay.
No, you
like
really
we
don't
do
do
now.
that.
Well, and I looked up bedraggled. Turns out it's pronounced bedraggled,
What?
not bedraggled.
What?
The phonetics say bedraggled.
What?
Okay. Well,
What?
anyways,
Not bedraggled.
It's not
That's not a
bedraggled.
word,
That's the
is
point.
it?
Bedraggled? Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not bedraggled. I used to pronounce
Oh.
it as bedraggled
No, it's
because
bedraggled.
because it's like you get raggled by the bed, and that's why you look disheveled. So-
Raggled is the thing that's not a word. Bedraggled,
Wriggled by
totally
the
a
bed,
word.
and that's why you're disheveled.
So okay, yeah, but
Shout out to the word bedraggled. Good words.
thank God.
Fact-checking.
I'm glad to know I've been pronouncing it wrong twice
Yeah,
over.
right? No, I just thought you should know.
Thanks, Andrew. I feel so much better about myself.
So you can get it right in the future.
Not gonna happen.
Well, it might happen. She also might just never use the word bedraggled ever again, so it's entirely possible.
What does that even mean?
Disheveled.
disheveled.
Okay.
So you never have to use that word ever because you have the word
Because you can
disheveled.
use disheveled.
But if you want to spice it up a little bit without using swear words, use bedraggled.
Thanks, Mr. Shirt.
Yeah, see, Travis sees what I did there.
I saw what you did.
Thanks.
There.
I like to sprinkle my swear.
You're all weak. All right, should we wrap it up?
Yeah,
Probably.
it's a
Like a
good
burrito?
place to end.
Absolutely, like a burrito.
I do like burritos.
So-
Those are good.
Thank you for listening to the Mach7 podcast. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Go watch all of our other videos that are out now, and stick tuned next week, maybe. Bye.
Bye.
For our final podcast.
Could be.
Ever.
Farewell.